I have a question in regards to energy flow. Just as some days are very sunny and bright and just seem very happy, other days seem very gloomy and cloudy. And I look at each morning as I wake up as a brand new day, a brand new life. Yet each morning as you wake up, at least for myself, some days I feel happy, sunny. Some days I feel kind of gloomy and cloudy. And my question is it because of the law of attraction of what I dreamt? Is it because of the law of attraction of the day I had before? Is it from the mass consciousness of that day?
Well, it could.
Is it my raging hormones of that day? I mean, I'm really, because some days I wake up, I feel great. I'm floating, I'm flying, I'm just, the sun is shining. And some days I wake up and I feel like I have this huge ball on my head, and I call it the raging hormone day, where I just feel like I'm out of control. And
well, do you hear how long and how eager you are going on about this?
Okay.
Have fun as you listen back to the recording of this. It was very good.
It was long, more than 17 seconds.
Several things that you said. It is about several things, but mostly it is about this. It is not about your dreams. We'll talk about that in a moment. It is about law of attraction, and it is about the vibrations that you're bumping up against. So it could be vibrations that you've set into motion the day before. It could be vibrations that others around you are setting into motion. It could be vibration that mass consciousness is chewing upon. You are a global world where you often get focused rather singularly upon uncomfortable topics, and that stream that we were talking about affects every single one of you if you are not setting your own tone. And so that is what it is mostly about. Mm-hmm. In other words, if, let's say that it is a bright and sunny day, and you are observing that it is a bright and sunny day, and we mean by bright and sunny not just it is bright and sunny because the sun is out and it is bright. We mean someone in your life is very happy, or some big announcement has taken place, the stock market has risen 500 points. Something has changed mass consciousness. And so it could be vibrationally a bright and sunny day, and you might be, as most people, not setting your own tone, but just offering your vibration in response to what you are observing. You see, almost all vibration that almost all people offer is in response to something that they are observing. And you are observing on many levels. You're observing with your eyes, with your ears, with your nose, with your fingers, with your tongue. You're also observing with your energy sensors. And so you're observing this vibration, and so whatever's happening out there, if you haven't already decided to set your own tone, which is what we call pre-paving, then you very likely might be swept up in some current that is not in harmony with what you are wanting. Now take the issue of the raging hormones. Think about what a big vortex of energy that dovetails into. Decline, diminishment, no longer being what I was born to be. In other words, that's a big stream of consciousness that there could be 500 different subjects in a day that might touch your ears and trigger that vibration within you. And if you haven't taken the time to really come at one with who you are in your womanhood, you could very well be swept off in that current without even knowing you are. Now, friends, we know this must all sound very complicated. It's bad enough that there are billions of things out there that you might observe, that you might have a vibrational response to. But what about all the unseen billions and billions and billions and billions of thoughts? Not just those in your environment, but those in other environments. Are you affected by all of them? Yes, you are. But you can tell by the way you feel how you are doing. And here is what we want you to hear. When you connect to your core energy, and you have an object of attention that now is summoning your core energy through you, there is no possibility that any of those other vibrations would affect you. It's like setting your tuner on a radio signal and you can hear it loud and clear. You don't worry about all the other static or other stations bleeding through on your station. Mm-hmm. So what we're really talking about is you just have to make a decision, and usually enough contrast such as that's why we don't mind at all you're going on and on and on about the discomfort of it, because we know in every moment of that discomfort a new desire, a newer, clearer, stronger, more poignantly focused desire is formulating within you that is beginning to sound to us like, I am wanting control of my own experience.
Exactly.
We hear physical friends very often feeling great discomfort in the workplace that they are living, and they will say things to us like, I'm wanting financial independence, I'm wanting to be apart from this, I hate this work, or I'm not wanting to be a part of this, I'm wanting to be free from this. And we say to them often, you know, until you decide what objects of attention you are wanting to utilize to summon life force through you, it's good for you to appreciate this employer who has given you something that is summoning life force through you. It's a big thing that you all struggle with, because while often you don't want somebody else making up your mind for you, if you don't make up your mind for you, then no life force flows through. And that's why there have been so many that are so willing to step in and say, this is what you should do, this is what you should want, this is the education you should get, this is, because in them helping you at least to focus, it gives you some semblance of energy flowing through you while you're figuring out what you want to use as your reason for energy to flow through you. Get a sense of what we're talking about? Mm-hmm. Now, what is pre-paving? Pre-paving is understanding that life force abounds, that energy, that's where your question began, that energy abounds, and recognizing that I am a receiver of as much of it as I can manage to flow. Last night, as Jerry slept, Esther watched a movie where Brewster spent $30 million in 30 days. She was quite impressed and realized that, in essence, that is what we are teaching. It is not quite as obscene as that, but what we are teaching is that it is your work to decide what you want. And every time you say, I appreciate that, I really like that, I applaud that, I acknowledge the value in that, every time you do that, you spend some of your energy. And it is the spending of the energy that creates a vacuum, so to speak, or an attraction, so to speak, that draws more and more and more and more. So, if you wake up and you're not feeling all that good, it only means one thing. Either you haven't been summoning energy towards something, which means you probably haven't been thinking much about what you want, or it means you've been talking more about what you don't want. What it means is there's not energy flowing through you for some reason. That's all it means. It just means I'm not up to speed with who I am. And here's the thing that really speaks to what you're talking about most of all. Once you have tasted the ecstasy of your high vibration, you can't go back.
Oh, and it's awful. When you get in the negative?
You never again will feel the comfort that you once felt in that other place.
It's bigger. Why is it so much bigger?
You're more consciously aware. In other words, you can't go back. Oh, you can, but it's not fun. Ow, ow, yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Yes.
And I want to take a little contrast here, because I'm trying to work through this, and I want to know how to work with the energy.
Well, let's not make so much thing about working with the energy. Do you know what working with the energy means? It means this thought feels better than that thought. This thought feels better than that thought. Okay. This thought feels better than that thought. This thought feels better. What feels better? Swordfish or cat food? I'm going to have dinner. Which do I prefer? I open a nice can of cat food, and I prefer a nice swordfish steak. Let's see. Which do I want to eat? Not a hard choice, is it? Which feels better, walking in the soft, delicious grass or out in the rocks and sharp things with my bare feet? Let me see. Which feels better? Which feels better, to praise or to condemn? Which feels better, to remember my successes or my failures? Which feels better, to remember my mother on the day that she loved me or my mother on the day that she was mad at me? Which feels better, to love my mother or to condemn my mother? Which feels better, to know that I have value or to doubt my value? Ow, ow, ow. Which Which feels better, to laugh and to play, or to be solemn and serious? In other words, which feels better?
Lighten up, another
Which
word.
feels better? That's all energy is about. Because the energy of your source is smooth and free. Oh, it's powerful. In other words, it's not limp. It's powerful. But when you summon powerful energy and you relax in the context of it, you soar. In other words, that's passion, that's exhilaration, that's freedom, that's expansion, that's delicious, that's natural, that's who you are.